Okay. This has got some weight to it. It really does. And because of what this is, we're not going to do the standard, normal, flip it opening. I'm just going to pick it up and we're going to start, okay? That's how we're going to do it. That's how we're going to do it, okay? So let me turn him around. Here we go. Dragon Man. Here he is. I got him. I put the money in. I waited an entire year. Here he is. Got the Dragon Man. Got the Fantastic Four right here. Fantastic Four. Dragon Man. Dragon Man. Some stuff, if you care about that. And on the back, Dragon Man. Seems simple enough, right? It says Dragon Man with posable wings and tail. That's what it says. The information it gives people that might not know who he is and still bought him, which I know some people are completionists, but I cherry pick everything that I buy, so that always seems weird to me that you would like buy Dragon Man and have absolutely no clue as to what Dragon Man is beyond the fact that he's the dragon. Or maybe he was a man. Or Dragon Man. Maybe he's just a dragon. Sorry. Designed as a super-powered android, Dragon Man was imbued with life to battle the Fantastic Four until he broke free of his creator's control. Fair. As simple as it is, yes, that's exactly pretty much what happened. It's a little more complicated to be fair, but yes, that is what happened. There was a scientist, he was building this, it got turned on, it got corrupted, it went after them. I love that he started as like a child. It was very much like a childish thing. And part of what happened was that kind of Ben and Johnny immediately took to him as an enemy, and they rushed it, and that kind of caused the big fight. And then after that point, they were fighting. That's what they were doing. They were fighting, and he was mad, and they were fighting, and he was super ridiculously powerful. You got to consider something about Dragon Man, okay? Just to put it out there. Put it out there about Dragon Man. Guys, I know that the Fantastic Four look goofy. I get it. And also, I know that they're a product of their time. And I know that most people realistically never stop to think about the power of the Fantastic Four, because normally the Fantastic Four, they look a little goofy. I love the Fantastic Four, but I will admit it, they're a product of their time. And when you hear about their powers, I don't think people explain those powers well enough. Mr. Fantastic can be stretchy. It's a little more complicated than that, and he is extremely broken when he wants to be. The Invisible Woman can turn invisible. It's way more complicated than that, and she is super ridiculously broken. She can do feats of strength that would shock most of the Marvel Universe. Human Torch. Dude on fire. Dude makes fire. It's more complicated than that. And his level of power and the amount that he can absorb and things like that, he was ridiculously powerful. And I know the movies like to kind of be simple about it. And they're like, oh, he can create supernovas and yada yada. Sure. But like, I'm just saying, guys. Like, here's an easy one to throw at you, okay? Ben Grimm, big dude made of rock. Since he's my favorite, I'm going to go ahead and explain that one a little more. Ben Grimm is not just made of rock, his skin is stronger than diamond. His punch is so severe, he can hit so hard if he just throws everything he's got into a punch. He can hit so hard that he has taken out the Hulk in one punch. He hit the Hulk so hard that the rocks on the outside of his fist shattered off, and he laid out the Hulk. Laid him out. Nappy time. That is not a small feat. There's almost no characters that can talk about doing that. The Thing has punched the helmet off the Juggernaut. He's super broken. He's nearly indestructible. He's so strong that the workout equipment inside of the Fantastic Four Baxter building had to be specially designed by Reed Richards so that he could work out. Specially designed in a way that when She-Hulk took his place on the team, she cannot use his equipment. She's not strong enough. I don't care that she's not as strong as the Hulk. She's a Hulk. She-Hulk. Hulk being a definitive idea. Hulks are the physically strongest people in... We're just going to break that down into simple things. The strongest people understood in Marvel. If it has the name Hulk, more than likely, it's super strong. And yet, at that level of power, these guys attacked Dragon Man. And with a baby's mentality, he held them all off. Not like kind of. Like, he picked Ben up and threw Ben around, was like, get out of my way, I'm not trying to... And then, like here comes Johnny, and Johnny's shooting fire, and he's just like, smack, you know, get away from me. Like, the level of power that Dragon Man starts in that first book, the first book that he shows up in, he is ridiculously powerful. Like, absolute ridiculously powerful. And the thing that's really cool about that is that this character of immense power, once they finally calm it down and the Invisible Woman gets the talking to it, he calms down. He's got a baby's mentality, a child's mentality. He's scared. He's defending himself. Dragon Man likes Susie at first. That's who can talk to him. That's who can calm him down. That's who he'll help if something is going on and she needs help. Then, as time goes, he becomes highly intellectual. He reads. He likes to relax. He likes to kick back with his books. He likes to study and learn new things. He's a complete against type character. He's so cool. Oh my God. Wow. That's for his feet. Okay. Here we go. Hold on, I'm trying to pick him up. This is Dragon Man. Holy crap. They did not mess around. Look at that. This is huge. I'm going to put him on my shoulder. Do you see? This dude is big. Holy crap. I gotta know. I just happen to have this sitting to the side. I've gotta know. So I gotta get one of the biggest guys I have on the shelf. And we've got to see the size comparison here. Dude, he's bigger than the Hulk. Not by much, but that's the Hulk standing on his feet in front of him. He's bigger than the Hulk. He's bigger than Ben Grimm. Because Ben Grimm is actually smaller than the Hulk figure. Oh, and by the way, that's perfect when I think about the scale, too, because Dragon Man was picking up Ben Grimm and throwing Ben Grimm around. Like, dude, this guy is huge. I'm going to unbox this guy, and we're going to look him over. This is stunningly good. Like, this is going to be cool, guys. Okay, wow. Holy crap. This is wild. First off, he's got this really cool Future Foundation book, and it actually says Future Foundation on the book, which is really, really cool. It says, I can't read it. So I know that it's in English here, but it's not here. It's a special kind of language or whatever. And then the inside is actually detailed too. Let's see if I can actually get it to focus in a bit. So it's not perfect, but if you're looking, you can tell that there's actually words and diagrams and whatnot on these pages. So they actually, the pages kind of look a little torn and worn. There's like a diagram, and there's like a little cell thing, and there's a bunch of words. This is really cool. That's an amazing amount of detail for just a book for him to hold. He does have his glasses, by the way, which we will try to see. That's his tail. And as far as I could tell, it's a bendy wire. The tail is fully posable. So let's plug it into his butt. Okay. There. Tail. Look. Dude, this is unreal. Tail is bigger than the Hulk. Dude, they didn't mess around with this guy at all. He has deep butterflies going all the way back, going all the way forward. Look at that. He can clap. We made this big deal about the Hulk being able to clap. He can clap. Dragon Man can clap. Okay? And they didn't need a weird foam or rubbery thing, which, by the way, I get some people really didn't like that. So far in my time having this Hulk, I'm going to say this. I am torn a little bit on this. I still like this covering because I like that he can kind of do this, and it's kind of like real muscles, how it folds in. But what I don't like is for a little while, for about a week or two, I kept this side like this because of a pose, and now his chest wants to automatically be kind of in over there. Like it got used to it and started holding that position. So that I'm not thrilled about. But like I said, that's the thing about these toys is we don't know how they're going to age or be affected until we have them for a while. And that's the first problem I've seen with my Maximum Hulk. But we, of course, have these regular hands, which they're tough hands. They're not, I mean, they're, like, I can move his fingers, I'm noticing, but they're tough hands. They're big hands. And we have the... we do have the double elbow joint, but it might be redundant because his bicep is so big. Let me see. Oh, wait. No. There. Which, by the way, proves something that I was hearing from a lot of people. I was hearing people say that in the Hulk, the reason that we got a single arm joint was because he has big, giant biceps. I'm going to call that out and say, no, they just didn't want to give you the other, they just didn't want to give you the dual elbow or the double jointed elbow because look, he can do it, and look at the size of that arm. I'm just saying, like, they could have done it. They chose not to. Why ever we have all these single joint elbows starting to show back up in figures, I don't know. But it is a thing that is happening, and I think it's a cost-cutting procedure, not an engineering procedure. That being said, he's got a fantastic face, man. Like, it looks really good. Those eyes are sweet. And the jaw is articulated. So he can open his mouth, he can close it. That's about the level of up he can look. That's the level of down he can look. Does his head move forward and back? Littlest bit, not by too much. We already talked about his deep butterflies. He also has the dual joints down here for his knees. He has he has all the articulation that you would expect from some of the best figures in this line. And he's got them toes. He's got them dragon toes. And then he's got wings. He's got tucked wings. And he's got full extension wings. So, we're going to put this in. I don't know what kind of nightmare this is going to be to get back out. Like, so I'm looking in there, and they've got those really hard, like once it goes in, this feels like it goes in. I don't know what kind of nightmare it is to pull this thing back out once I get it in there. But I guess we'll know soon, because I'm going to push this in there. There. Wow. Does this bendy wire? No. Okay, so this is just a wing, and it's just it's a rubber. It gives way, but it's just a solid rubber, okay? So that's cool. You could also do little things, like if you really wanted to mess with it, you could do where one wing is flailed out and the other is not, for whatever reasons that you have for picture-wise and stuff like that. But that is his wingspan. I can hide behind this guy. Like, holy crap. This is sick. This is sick. Oh my god, dude. Having a big dragon man is so cool. Couple of things I want to see. We have punching hands. We're not really too worried about that. We know how punching hands work, and we know that this wrist will come off. It's not gonna sell the figure to anybody. Oh man, he has punching hands. I want to see how these. How do we get these? Okay. So I can get them on there. We're going to try to be real careful. There's his glasses. They just kind of sit on there. Word to the wise for anybody that doesn't have this yet, or anybody that even has the slight inkling that you might be picking one up from like the aftermarket or whatever. I don't know what kind of nightmare that's going to be. But if you guys are going after the aftermarket on this guy, okay. If you got yours coming and it's not there yet, which I saw a lot of people already had theirs and I didn't have mine. So, like I said, like regular with this show, I'm usually way behind in terms of reviews, which is why most of my show is talking about the subject, not reviewing the subject. But these, they sit on his nose. And as you saw, I just tapped them and they fell right off. And I mean, there's nothing here. There's nothing here that like holds them in place. I thought because there's these little pokes right here that maybe something with his eyes. No, they just kind of go onto his nose, onto the bridge, and they push down a little bit, and they sit there. That's the worst part on this guy. That's the worst part on this figure. And I'm not saying that's a bad part. I'm saying you better be careful with those glasses. They fall off, they're gone. I'm pretty sure if they fall off, they're gone. This guy is unreal. Oh my God. Oh man. Dude, holy crap. He looks like he's flipping him off. Because I got the snap. Wow. Dude. Do we have... This waist has no articulation. Small thing to call out, but it's there. But you do have the entire upper ab rotation. Everything else is pretty much what you'd expect from... In fact, it's more than you'd expect from big figures. I got to give this one to him. This guy is not only spot on, he's not only Dragon Man, he also... I got a couple of things to praise him on. Praise for Marvel Legends. Every now and then we got to do it. Every now and then we look, we get so used to calling them out and calling them out and calling them out. Not that they don't deserve it sometimes, but when we need to praise Marvel Legends, let's also make a habit of praising Marvel Legends when we have a chance to do so. Because when they do good, they should know they did good. The amount of detail on this guy, on the wings, look at all that. Veins and everything like that, small tears in the wings, his skin and everything that goes all the way down. It doesn't feel like a half-finished figure. It goes all the way down. It's all the way his back. He has that giant tail. It is a bendy wire tail, so you can literally bring it all the way around and things like that. Look, this guy, the level of detail that they went out of their way to put on this guy, I'm not kidding. He looks better than he did in the renders. When I saw the renders that made me buy him, I looked at him and said, oh, he looks like he's going to be cool. And I bought him. I did. I was like, I think they got me on this one. Click. Then he started showing up. People got to see him at SDCC. And like, I'm not kidding when I tell you, on a personal level, what I see physically here looks better in hand and better on video than what I saw on those renders. Like, I could see the veins in the side of his head. See that? This guy... Look, man, he cost us like $80. That was a lot, okay? That's fair. He's expensive, but holy crap. I've spent $80 on stuff that is not this impressive. Easily, I have spent $80 on things that are not this impressive. This is good work. The eyes are so good. Like, there's like a glaze over the eyes. Look at that. Dude, this guy is magnificent. I can't stress enough how hard they hit the ball out of the ballpark on this one. Dragon Man is so good. Are you the best Marvel Legend on the shelf now? I don't know. There's also changes in the color. So like, this isn't just like plastic or whatever. You're not just seeing shadows. The colors actually are darker up here and then go down and fade. So there's a paint job that's taking place here. And they put a wash on his face that brought like all these black lines real hard out and everything like that. This guy's sick. How much of a pain is this? I'm going to pull it. Oh, okay. Okay. That's not that bad. So, the wings, you got to give them a little force, and then you could put them on like this, and then they're not the full spread wings. That's Dragon Man. Holy crap. Holy crap, that is good.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.